Hey everybody, Angie here, and I am tuning in with a meditation tip for you. I love the little conversations. I'm just on a hike out over Kamloops. Another beautiful sunny day in paradise. I love my conversations with you guys that happen from time to time about different things, where you're at and how things are going for you in your practice and your life. I really value these little chats that we have. And so thanks for reaching out to me and communicating with me. That's part of the joy of being in community. And so what comes from that, those little conversations, I'm going to walk and talk here while we go. Recently was one of our members saying, like, meditation still confounds her. It's just too impossible to sit and try to find like 1 second of concentration, because the mind wants to just immediately leave the object of concentration. And look, I totally get that, and I have been there too. One of the things that helped me really get established was when and really the first time that I was able to seriously meditate. Anything before that was just sitting and trying to wrestle with my monkey mind unsuccessfully. So I've been there. But one thing that really shifted things for me was when I went to the 10-day Vipassana retreat. It's a silent retreat. It's a Buddhist meditation practice and tradition. It's quite strict. You don't speak for 10 days, but that intense practice was what transformed my meditation practice, and it still sticks with me to this day. The stillness that was established in those 10 days. And so that's one way to get into it. Do a really serious meditation retreat. Another thing that helps though is if you exert yourself before you try to sit. Also, early morning is the best time when you first wake up, before the day fills with things, because later in the day, even though it's recommended to meditate a little when you first wake up and a little right before you go to bed, right before you go to bed is so that you can process the events of the day, right? So that when you go to sleep, you have done a little bit of that processing before you lay your head down on your pillow. And in the morning, it's beneficial because first thing in the morning, before the activities and the thoughts of the day, your mind tends to be the least active naturally, right? The earlier the better. But this really is most effective if you're doing it around 6-7. The later in the day that it becomes, the harder it gets, just because of the natural rhythms that our body and mind go into. And so the other thing that can be really helpful is to exert yourself before you sit in meditation. So this can look like hiking up to the top of a big hill like I just did here. It's a nice practice to hike up and bring yourself a little cushion or a little towel to sit on and just plop down and enjoy the fruits of your labor as your mind is clear. Sorry about the wind, it just suddenly picked up. We'll back up a little. And so the exertion can look like anything, right? In India, they have shaking. They do these shaking meditations where everybody stands up and shakes before they sit down and meditate. Dancing is another one, vigorous dancing. You could do a few rounds of sun salutation and then sit and that's one of the reasons why our yoga practice is such a great precursor to sitting, because that exertion, that movement clears out the cobwebs, clears our mind, and prepares our mind for meditation. So, it's hard to just out of the blue just sit down and just like drop in to a quiet space inside. It's very challenging to do that, but there's little tricks and things that you can do to kind of help make that easier. So definitely don't beat yourself up or say like, oh, I just can't do it, or I'm bad. Maybe sitting meditation is not your cup of tea. Maybe walking meditation is more your thing, where you're chanting a mantra, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, or Om Mane Padme Hum, which is a Tibetan Buddhist prayer. whatever floats your boat. As you walk, each step is one beat of the chant. So there's many, many ways to skin this cat. Don't feel boxed in, and don't be discouraged or give up, because there's so many benefits. Even just 5 minutes of just effort a day to sit quietly with your breath is enough to transform your life. And so just get creative with it. Get jiggy with it.